What's up, guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. We're coming off of Thanksgiving, and our members and experts had a ton to be thankful for last week. Let's get to the winners. In the NBA streets, Ash Frank NFL won $1,500. NYG Fan used AP's heat map to win $1,800. D-Rex26 hit for $4,500, and new subscriber Tom hit for $15K. Burr PBC shipped for $33K, while the Man 11 had yet another huge payday, shipping for $100,000. RPS continues to dominate all sports, including World Cup soccer. Our team has been crushing it with the content, and we have the receipts to prove it. Go Boys 18 hit for $1K. New member Wes Ray won over $1,300. Jaime's content helped Poker Pastor get through a tough time, hitting for $2K. Big T won over $20K. Rubio's hard work grinding out soccer content paid off with a $20K shipper. While the biggest winner was RPS member Eddie, who turned $500 into over $30,000. Our NFL content has been on fire all season, and we didn't let the Thanksgiving holiday slow us down. We have plenty of free content available on our YouTube channel daily, so make sure to subscribe right now to access the winners. DK for 5 hit big on Thanksgiving, winning $10K. C Jacobs 986 joined him, shipping for $15K. On the main slate, Racing Jason 910 hit for over $6K. LT Dog 24 shipped for $50K, while my own heater continued, winning my first FFWCC. For Showdown, our guy Hoop was a big winner, shipping for over $100K across sites. He used his core plays laid out for our premium members, including a low-owned Jelani Woods, who ended up breaking the slate. Shout out to YGuy223, who won over $9K as well. Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in the core report, drop your winning lineup in the Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. And while you're watching, hit that like button now. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Till next time, let's keep running pure.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Talking hoops, monster slate as usual on Wednesdays. 13 games today. Little different crew than usual. Tambo is not hosting, so you get me instead, and you get AP in the analyst seat breaking down all this stuff. Tambo was dealing with some weather. The king of the beaches this weekend, so he wanted to make sure he got out there in plenty of time, leaving today instead of tomorrow or something like that. So excited to have you on, AP. We talked Monday. Yesterday, nice little 3-game slate. Tomorrow, only 1 games, though. So they got a big millie up top today. Bunch of games, monster prize pools as always. Your heat map, talk about that a little bit for anyone new out there and what's going on in this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, AP.
Yeah, we got a monster slate tonight. Tambo traveling out to be the king of the beach, which he is. Multiple tickets to that event. Shout out to him. Good luck. He's a man. He has to be the odds-on favorite to ship that. I would put money behind him. And then we got our boy Locks right here with what, 6-7 tickets to the Millie tonight. I looked at the entrance in there, flooded with RPS the logos in there. Good luck to everyone. Going to be rooting you guys on, and we're going to do our best dialing in the winners. The heat map is up and live. It is finished. Depending, there's still news to hit, and it's going to adjust up to lock and then after lock. But man, I like how this slate sets up. I think it's a really fun slate tonight, especially if you like. This is a slate where I would want 6 tickets into like 4 to 6 tickets into the Millie, because there's going to be a few different decisions to make. So it sets up really perfect for our guy Locks.
Man, I didn't even know all that. I knew Locks was pretty rich over there. I knew he had a couple in there, but 6 or 7. Locks, talk about it. Talk about your initial thoughts on this slate. You'll have a core up on both sites today on the core plays page. Talk about it, man. That's a lot. Millie, you got to be the at the end of the day, you got to be the one holding up that $1 million check, Locks.
I sure hope so. That's always the plan, obviously, right? Yeah, I play in those things all the time, so I ended up getting lucking into 6 tickets. So I'm excited. A lot of injury news I got to pay attention to. I'm going to be dialing it in all the way up to lock just because I can't really miss any value or any injury news tonight. So definitely a big night. Ready to pick some winners for you guys. Just be in the Discord, ready for those injuries as usual.
Yeah, as always, we always got that covered playbook up. Again, AP talked about the heat map. We also have a heat map for FanDuel that Glock does as well. Cash chart, core plays, all of that, as always. Monster 13 game slate. Before we get into it, though, I want to say hi to some people in chat. Because it's going to be, we're going to hammer out all these games. 13 is a lot of them. Got to say hi to some people first. So we have Brandon, SC, Nadesify, Robert, Steven, Soak Ducks, Andrew Martinez, Jordan, Kale, Drew Carpenter, Gator Nation, Nice Cards, Paraby, Snyder, Matthew Moore, Mangone's in chat, Yeezy, Vinny. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us as always. Like button, subscribe button. As Tambo always says, the fastest 300 likes. We'd appreciate it. I don't think we'll be able to beat Tambo over here, but like button, subscribe button. We want to get you the plays of the day at the end. So we appreciate it if you do hit it. 13 games though, no time to waste. We're going to dive right in for you. The Atlanta Hawks taking on the Orlando Magic to start. 228 total. Atlanta is favored by 6. Going to the injury report. DeAndre Hunter is questionable. Justin Holiday out. Jalen Johnson doubtful for Atlanta. So mainly Hunter that we're waiting on. As far as the Orlando side, they're still thin. Wendell Carter, Suggs, and Okeke are all out. And then Mo Bamba is questionable in this game. So, Locks, I'll throw it to you first. What does the Mo Bamba news do for you since they're already without Wendell Carter? We saw Bobo slide in the 5 last time. There's Mo Wagner as a backup as well there. Or any interest in Orlando if Bamba's out? And then talk about the Hawks side and if the Hunter news does anything for you.
Yeah, definitely. The Bamba news is definitely important to me. I mean, if Bamba's out, it just gives me a little bit more interest in Bol. I think he just gets even more run and turns into not a must play, but definitely a priority for me a little bit. If Bamba plays, I don't know. I lose interest in Bamba and Bol, to be honest with you. So I'm really not high on this Magic team today. I'm probably not going to play much unless Bamba's out. On the other side of the ball, Young and Murray are the ones that interest me. I think these two guards can just absolutely smash the Magic. So I'm going to have interest in both. I probably lean towards Young tonight. I know I've been on Murray all year. I think Young goes off tonight. I think he has a great game, and I think he's going to be the better play than Murray. Other than that, those two guys for me in this game, barring the news on Bamba.
AP, throw it to you. Mo Bamba news, does that do anything for you? Again, this is the first game of the night. Starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. We are waiting on a lot of news in the slate, as always. So, gonna load the boat on this one, pick out some pieces. What's your approach in this first one, AP?
Like it seems like once a week we have one of these massive slates. Usually it's on Wednesday. Tonight is a massive slate, 13 games. I mean, it's just ton. If you look at how the slate sets up, there's really elite decisions. I think mistakes I often make are trying to get a piece from these early games. It's almost better just to wait for the concrete news that's going to set up and just cross some of these spots off. I think the Atlanta Hawks Magic is a spot that I am debating, just completely crossing it off, not going to anyone. If I had to play someone, though, Trae Young, favorable price tag. You want the Magic to stay within striking distance here. DeJounte Murray struggling with his shot. I mean, the prices come way down. He's going to smash eventually. So, if you're running multiple teams, and the other thing, too, is it comes down to what your strategy is. If you're running multiple teams, multiple lineups, I would consider DeJounte Murray in tournaments because he's going to be very, very, very low owned. But I do think between the two, much like Locke said, the safer play is Trae Young. Trae Young, absolute baller. His shot's been solid. And he's going to, I believe, I don't have the stats in front of me or anything like that, but just from the eye test, watching teams play this Magic team, while they're big and have have a lot of size, a lot of length, they still struggle and give up a lot of 3-pointers, which helps guys like Trae Young. So again, I'm probably off this game, but if I had to play someone, I'd look at Trae Young and then as a deep field tournament play, DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, I like it. I agree. I don't think this is a game you really need to go overboard on as well. If Bamba's out, I think Bobo's a stronger play. The price tag is up there, though. Can always play Trey or DeJounte. So not too much interest in the first game of the night for us three. Let's get to the next game on the slate, the second of two games that start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia 76ers, Cleveland Cavaliers, 210 total. Cleveland is favored by 3.5. On the Philly side, James Harden's still out. Tyrese Maxey's still out. As far as the Cleveland side, Jarrett Allen and Kevin Love still out. Lamar Stevens is questionable. I mean, when you're missing Kevin Love and Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley's the first guy that I look at, 7.1K. So the price is up there a little bit. I think the price is warranted, though. As far as anyone else on Cleveland, I don't see too much I'm interested in. Can get to Garland, D Mitch anytime. As far as the Sixers, I think it's Embiid or bust. But man, Embiid came back. First game back last game, played 35 minutes, 35% usage rate, almost got a triple-double. AP, I don't think Embiid's going to be very highly owned today. I don't think he's going to – I mean, he'll have some ownership on a 13-game slate, but I don't think it's going to be crazy. Are you looking at getting a star in your builds? Are you looking more balanced right now? Talk about Embiid, talk about Mobley, and anything else you like in this one.
Yeah, so this is one of the reasons why, we developed the heat map over here at Run Pure Sports. DraftKings, FanDuel, position flexibility in what a position, a player plays is very important, especially in relation to the slate. So when you look at how tonight's slate sets up, we have a lot of very elite center plays. Nick Claxton, Collins, Jokic, what we're going to get to, Sabonis. There's so many different options. So again, back to what I was saying about the other game, a mistake I've made in the past is just like, I got to get Embiid in there and then figure everything out, after these first, like getting a piece in the 7 p.m. window, thinking it's going to go under owned. I don't know, man. Like, sure, Embiid could go a little bit under owned, but I would not be surprised if more people end up playing him just based off the fact that they think they're going to get him lower owned. So it could be one of those things where ownership projections are just, a little light on him. And so I'm torn. Like, I wouldn't talk anyone off of playing Embiid. Obviously, he's a guy that always can put up a big number. I'm probably going to be off of him, though, in favor of some of these other really elite center plays that we have on this slate. And then who knows, like the most interesting spot, I think, and we have ways to get there, but is the Clippers. So I want to prioritize some of that news. I'm going to pull what, our boy Mangone always does. I think he does it better than most, just waiting for the news. Same with guys like Kay Fallick and everything. So I'm going to be off of the 76ers here. Again, if you had to play someone, though, it'd be Embiid. And I don't know. I mean, Tobias Harris, I think with Embiid back, it's hard to play him. There's other better plays in that range. And then on the other side, I love Mobley with all the bigs out. The problem title is Mobley 7-1 now. Do I think he can get us 40? Yeah, I think he could get there. I think there's a lot of foul risk with Embiid. The problem is, one, the foul risk. And then two, we might, from a 7,100 player tonight, we might need like closer to 50 to really get there in tournaments. So I'm going to be off Mobley. You can always go to Mitchell or Garland, but man, I feel pretty good about it, crossing both of these games off and loading up on these other games that we have yet to talk about.
Yeah, it's a low total. Starts at 7 p.m. Eastern with the other game that we don't have as much interest in. So I think you're totally fine if you have no one at 7 p.m. Eastern in your lineups. I will say a point to make with Mobley, looking ahead at the slate. I mean, OKC, they're without SGA today. Everyone's going to be looking at Josh Giddey. Yes, it is a different position from Mobley, but Giddey 6.7K, Mobley 7-1. Ownership is going to be so much different on both those guys. So it's not a direct pivot because of different positions, but because of guard, forward, all the util on DK, positions don't matter as much. I think Mobley is still a great pivot from Giddey in a similar price range, regardless of the positions. Locks, throwing it over to you. Break down this game for us. Any interest for you in this one?
Yeah, this is another low total to begin the night. And with this many games and so much injury news, I think it is a great call to almost exit out. There's a few guys I'm going to have in my pool, in my few lineups I'm playing. I think Embiid's too good. I think you got to crush this guy here with Allen out. I mean, I'm just going to be jamming Joel Embiid a little bit. I get it if you don't want to spend up that much, but I think at sub 5%, I'm going to have him for sure. I like the guy. He can smash. We've seen what he can do. On the other side of the ball, I like Mobley. I'm a little different than AP there. I will have Mobley in my player pool. I like him, especially with Allen out. He's had 46 points the last couple nights without Allen in. So definitely a double-double here for him. And then the two guards, Garland and Mitchell, I'll have them in my pool. I'm not going to have the guards on the other side of the ball. Their prices are getting up there. So Mitchell, Garland for me, and then the bigs, Mobley and Embiid. Those four guys will be in my pool. Everybody else is pretty much X'd out.
Yeah, I like it. Not too much interest in these first two games for us. We are waiting on injury news, like we said, that we won't have all the injury news before those first two games. So before we get to the next game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, want to shout out some members, Never Win coordinators and members that had a great weekend this past week. Starting in the NBA streets, we had Drex26 hit for 4,500 in NBA. A new subscriber, Tom, hit for 15,000 in NBA. For BC, $33,000, and the man, $100,000 in NBA. It's not only the NBA though, the World Cup has absolutely been crushing with Rubio and Jaime. Poker Pastor won 2,000 in soccer. Big T won over 20,000 in soccer. Rubio, $20,000 as well. And then Eddie turned $500 into $30,000. I believe he took first and second in the big contest for soccer in that one. So awesome stuff to you guys. And again, not only World Cup and NBA, also in the NFL streets. DK for 5, hit big on Thanksgiving for $10,000. C Jacobs 986, $15,000 in NFL. LT Dog 24, $50,000 in NFL. Tambo got a live final seat to go along with his King of the Beach seats. And then Hoop shifted for over $100,000 on Monday with Jelani Woods. That was in his cores. So awesome stuff to all the members and coordinators. If you want to be on this segment, we do have a members never win segment in Discord. Drop those screenshots in there and you have a chance to get on. Let's get right back into the slate though. Gonna head to you in this one, AP. The Milwaukee Bucks, the New York Knicks, 228 total. The Bucks are favored by 6. Not much has changed for the injury report. The Bucks still without Middleton. He should be back soon. Ibaka, Ingles, nothing changed there. As far as the Knicks, they are healthy as well. So we got two healthy teams. We have Giannis in this game. You can always play Giannis. I'm interested in your thoughts on him, AP. Drew Holiday's prices come down at 7-3. I think those are the only two you can get to from the Milwaukee side. As far as the Knicks, I mean, they're healthy, but Brunson's playing good ball. There's RJ Barrett. Mitrov had a good game yesterday, good ownership. What's your thoughts in this game, AP?
Yeah, I feel like your boy Giannis always puts up a big number, especially in the Garden. So, I mean, I do think he has to be in consideration tonight, 12-4. There's going to be plenty of value to make him work. His floor-ceiling combination is just so good. Yeah, they got Mitch Rob, who's a big guy. Like, they could kind of build a wall, but I feel like the Knicks have always struggled against Giannis and the Bucks. And the Knicks are on a back-to-back, second half of a back-to-back. Julius Randle looked good, but keep in mind that was against the Pistons, who looked terrible. My guy Marvin Bagley, this dude can't defend anyone. Like, man, when someone's driving into the lane, usually your other big, your guy who's playing the 4 is going to come over to help, claps on him. Nothing. He just watches him get easy buckets. The guy is terrible. Made Julius Randle look like an absolute god out there. So I'm not going to go to Randle. I'm not going to chase that. I mean, he was highly efficient. You can always, RJ Barrett's going to get a ton of minutes. I always keep him in the player pool. I give him kind of a floor type projection just in case I get a unique build that lands there. But no, I'm going to be off the Knicks here. There's better spots for sure on this slate. So I'll be off the Knicks and the Bucks. It's just Giannis or no one else for me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even mention Julius Randle. I mean, if I know he's going to shoot 13 threes again or make 5 of his first 6 or whatever he did yesterday in the first quarter, I mean, his usage rate was 37 last game. Before that, 16, 24, 25, 23, 27. Like, the dude just got hot early. And when you get hot early, your ball's going to find you more. You're going to shoot more. Man, if he doesn't get hot early in this one, I do not expect a 35% plus usage rate for him on this healthy team. So yeah, I don't think he'll get much ownership in this one. I do not see a repeated performance from him. Locks, our Bucks, Giannis, Drew Holiday, anyone on the Bucks side you're going to get to. Then we got a healthy Knicks team. Anyone on that side as well?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in lockstep with AP on this game. I mean, Holiday at 7-3, definitely intriguing to me. We've seen what he can do when he gets hot too. So, I mean, him and Giannis on that side of the ball, I don't think I can really click anybody else. Brolo and Bo Poe are too high for me. I don't think I can pay up there. There's just too many spend down spots at those positions. So on the other side of the ball, I always have interest in Brunson. I've been on him all year. He continues to impress, right? I mean, he can get a double, even possible triple here or there. So I love that guy. I'm not riding RJ Barrett. I haven't played him all year. When he beats me, I just let him beat me. It is what it is. I let him go. And then, like you said, Randall, that usage isn't going to be there every night. Yeah, he got hot. I mean, 6 for 13 from 3. He ain't going to do that every night. So I'm not going back to 8K for him. Two guys on this side I really like, Mitch Robb and Jalen Brunson. On the other side, Antetokounmpo and Holiday. That's pretty much it for me. I'll keep it short and simple.
I like it. Let's get to the next game. No time to waste. 13 big games on this slate. As always, though, like button, big red subscribe button. We got 535 watching, 170 likes. 350 is the number I'll put out there. Usually Tambo 400, 450, 500. We'll go a little lighter, 350 today. A lot of games. Don't want to ask too much, but we appreciate if you do hit the like button. We want to get you the plays of the day. Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, 223 total. Boston is favored by 9. As far as the Boston side, Jaylen Brown is questionable in this one. The game is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so hopefully we get it before the first game, but obviously very big news there. As far as the Heat, they're still without Jimmy Butler. A lot of people questionable, though. Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Dedmon, Jovic. Man, it's a lot of questionable takes for sure. So we have to wait on injury news in this one, but break it down if-then scenarios and such locks, and you think you'll have much of this game?
So yeah, that's another one. There's just so many, it's tough calls tonight until we get all this info. So as we're talking, obviously things can change, but I mean, with Brown in, I don't really have a whole lot of interest in that side of the ball. With Brown out, we saw guys like Smart and Brogdon kind of step up a little bit. So I definitely, if Brown's out, I love Tatum to death. He's just going to smash double for sure. And then Smart and Brogdon, those are the 3 guys if Brown's out. If Brown's in, really Tatum and Brown are my only interest at all in my player pool. On the other side of the ball, the Heat, Hero's still questionable, right?
I see so, unless AP sees different.
No,
I mean,
he's
even if he
questionable.
plays, if he plays, I'm not playing him. 7-2, I think is just too expensive for the guy. I'm not paying 7-3 for Lowry tonight. I might X this entire Miami team other than maybe Adebayo and Caleb Martin if Hero sits.
AP, so many questionable tags on the Heat side. So break down that situation. And then Jaylen Brown, obviously, if he's in, are you getting anyone? If he's out, talk about who you'd have interest in.
Yeah, like I feel like we have a good handle on some of these rest spots. It seemed like a standard. So Jaylen Brown, questionable with neck stiffness, which is the exact same report that we got last time. But they were on a back-to-back situation where Tatum rested and then Brown, and then Brown
Tatum sat Sunday, Brown sat out Monday. Yep.
I'm working under the assumption that he ends up playing tonight. But even like if he doesn't, Boston's so good. This team is really, really, really good. They defend all like Derek White, like they all defend so good. Derek White like was defending down in the post like the other game.
You want a little stat that my buddy told me this morning that shocked me? Sam Hauser was the leading plus-minus player in the NBA last week. Sam Hauser. And that just shows how good this Boston team is because Hauser's no lockdown defender. This Boston team just all around are just studs. It's crazy.
Even with, the whole coaching change and everything, obviously these guys are clicking. Obviously there's some on-court coaching, Tatum taking his game to the next level, a lot of maturity. Back
pretty much the same team too, which is easy. I mean, this team's tough. No
Jimmy on the Heat. They're going to take care of this Heat team. I don't even care if Brown's out. I'm going to be off of this game. Just better spots on the slate. And that's what we do. If we want to make a 13 game slate easier, you cross a few games off. This is one of them I'm going to cross off.
And nothing on Miami side as well, even if Hero and them are out.
No, I mean, you could always go to Bam, like Locke said. You could do. I just 8,400 paying that high price tag for him. Better spots for me, so I'm just gonna cross them off and make decisions easier for myself.
No, 100%. 13 game slate. JSU does a really good job of talking on the Up to Lock show about it as well. But you need to cross off some games cross off teams, of course, as well. But if you want to cross off a full game, if Jaylen Brown's out, I'll have more interest in guys like Smart and Brogdon and Tatum. But if he's in, I think you can stay away from this game pretty easily. Next game on the slate, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the third game of 3 that starts at 7:30. Washington Wizards, Brooklyn Nets, 229.5 total. Brooklyn is favored by 5.5. On the Wizards side, Rui is out. That is it for them. As far as the Brooklyn side, Ben Simmons is out. Watanabe's out. So Simmons, the main person that's out over there. AP, I'll go back to you in this one. I mean, Porzingis had a monster night. What was that? 2 nights ago, I believe. Going back to him, Claxton's been playing some good ball. Kyrie Irving's price looks good at 8.5. I think there's a couple interesting pieces in this one, but nothing stands out as just a lock button. What do you see in this one, AP?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing we need to like keep in perspective is how bad defensively the Wolves were in that game and how bad they are right now. We have time. We're like, that game is going to be coming up here soon, but I'm interested. I think they could play better without Towns in there. Just the lineup, you know, top to bottom, you know, 1 through 5 looks a little bit more like fundamentally sound. So that's going to be a game. I'm
playing Gobert and Towns together in 2022 is not a recipe for success.
Porzingis and Kuzma was lighting them up. I mean, it was they made those two guys look like, you know, all-stars. I mean, it was insane. So yeah, decisions here. If the game stays competitive, you could play Bradley Beal, 8,700. Kuzma, it seems a little thin at 8,300. So I'm not like, I mean, I'm not going there on this slate. I think there's better options. And then again, Porzingis, my hope is like those 3 bigs take usage away from each other. And I think the environment's going to be a little bit different than what we saw against Minnesota. So I'm not going to go chasing those guys. I'm going to be off of them. And I'm always fine, like just fading the Wizards team. If they beat me, they beat me. And then the other side, so Ben Simmons is out. I do think this is important because, you know, he was racking up a lot of peripherals. The offense was running through him. And, you know, look, like we give Ben Simmons like a tough time. The guy obviously can't shoot, struggles offensively, but he can defend, he can distribute and set up the offense. He's not in there anymore. So that's going to give bumps to Nick Claxton. That's going to give bumps to Kyrie Irving. The ball be in his hands a little bit more. 8,500 for Kyrie. I get why projections like him. Is he my favorite play on the slate? No. Am I fading him? No. I'm giving him a fair projection. I'm seeing how my lineups look. So, and then it's KD. KD's kind of like, I'm curious to see what you guys have to say, but he's in that range for me to where it's like, would it make more sense to pay 500 more for Jokic or pay a little bit more for Giannis? And so I'll probably be off KD, but I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about him.
Yeah, I'm definitely in your same boat. I'm paying Giannis. I'm getting Jokic. I'm getting Embiid. I like all of them more than KD at that price. I'd rather just go to Kyrie. I mean, 8.5, everything you said with Simmons off the floor. I don't think people understand. Yeah, we make fun of Simmons all the time. He's been playing way better ball as of late, but that impacts Kyrie so much. Now Kyrie's going to be bringing the ball up. Potential assist going to go way up for him. He's played awful since he's came back from suspension. Most of those games are with Simmons, though. He's still playing upper 30s minutes. I mean, how often do you see Kyrie at 8.5K? So definitely a Kyrie over KD for me. Locks, touch on that. Touch on Washington's situation. Anything you like in this game?
Yeah, just touching on that situation with KD. I mean, I love KD too, but he's gone over 62 points 2 of the last 3 games with Kyrie back. So I definitely will always have some exposure to him. But as far as picking between the guys, I just think KD is going to come higher owned than Giannis. He's going to come in higher owned than freaking Embiid. So like you guys said, and Jokic, I'd rather get to one of those 3 guys personally. It's hard Xing Durant out of your pool, but I'll probably be under the field on him. I can't just fully X a guy out like that in my 150. I'll probably be off of him in all honesty in my 6 lineups I'm making for the Millie. So if that tells you anything, I'm probably not going to him tonight. I do like the Kyrie call. I think that helps him a little bit with Simmons out. So I could see him smashing, and we've seen him bust plenty of slates. At $8,500, I can easily see something like that happening. So I'll have some interest there. Him and KD on that side. The other guy, Royce O'Neal, he continues to impress us, right? And now Simmons is out, so he's going to get even more usage tonight. At his price tag at 5,400, I have some interest there. So those 3 guys on the Brooklyn side. The other side for me, not much interest. I'm kind of like you, Title. If this Wizards team beats me, they freaking beat me. I mean, these prices, Kuzma and Porzingis at 83 and 8,500, just they're getting up there. And I don't know if I can spend that much at the power forward and center position tonight. So I'll probably be a little bit off of those guys. They will be super low owned, I believe. Maybe not from what I'm seeing, but I don't know. If they're high owned, I'm definitely not playing those guys. I'll fade this entire Wizards team.
Yeah, I don't think Wizards get too much ownership, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can't have snowflakes in your lineup tonight on a 13-game slate, and any of those guys I think could. Porzingis would be the guy to go back to. Just has all the upside in the world. We've seen it, but man, at A5. So Porzingis or Kyrie, I'll go to you, Locks, then AP. Obviously different positions, same price tag though, same game.
Yeah, I think I would lean Kyrie in that situation, just ownership wise, and I think he has more upside with Simmons out, to be honest.
AP, you have any lean on that, or are you not touching either of them?
Yeah, I think I'm in lockstep with Locks. I would go Kyrie. And for me, though, it's because of the position. I just think there's stronger center plays that we can go to, either from like a value standpoint or spend up. Jokic or Zach Collins. I mean, or right there in the middle, Nick Claxton. So I would go Kyrie if I had to spend up.
Makes sense. We did get news. Mo Bamba is ruled out. He was questionable, so news is starting to hit. I mean, we didn't have too much interest in that game. They are priced up. Mo Bamba missed last game as well, but they are still without Wendell Carter. AP, Locks, anything for you? Assuming they start Bobo at the 5 and do what they did last time. Are you going to get to him?
For me, that just makes me like Banchero and Bobo a little bit more. I just think they get more minutes, more usage there.
I mean, it's tough to ignore the 39 minutes that he played against the Nets. So, I think that's going to be a situation that I go back and look at. I just got the other thing about Bobo, you can play him at the power forward, center spot, forward spot, utility spot. So a little bit more flexibility there with him. So I do think he's going to be a guy that I add back to the player pool and consider on the slate.
Not to put you guys on the spot, this could change. The news just came out, but before we get to the next one, Mobley or Bobo, right there in similar price ranges, same positions. AP?
Man.
Like I said, putting you on the spot. Yeah.
I mean, it's all right. So like for me, it's pretty close. So now it comes down to kind of matchups. And my one feel like I like Mobley. I've been playing Mobley just like Locks, but man, Embiid is so good at like getting fouls and getting to the line. And while Mobley is actually for a big, he's pretty good at keeping out of foul trouble. Gosh, who else are they going to put in there at the 5? Like this is a tough spot for Mobley. So I'll slightly lean Bull, but like it's really close.
Yeah, I think they're two good plays. Anything on that, Locks, before we get to the next game?
That's a tough on the spot one. I don't freaking know.
That's fine. I'm
going to lean Mobley. I'll lean Mobley with AP. He's been pretty solid at NBA. I'll lean on his side.
I think he leaned the other way, but that's all right. It's a really close. Yeah, because the foul trouble. I thought AP was saying, but
who'd he lean?
Jam Mobley in there.
Mobley. Oh, okay, yeah. It's close. It's close.
No, it definitely is close for sure. 617 watching, 221 likes, 350 is the number for the plays of the day. When you do hit that like button, right next to it, big red subscribe button. At least I think it's still red. Once you hit it though, it goes to white. You get notified anytime we go live. So like button, subscribe button, 350 likes. Want to get you the plays of the day. We always do appreciate it. Next game, 8 p.m. Eastern, Toronto Raptors, New Orleans Pelicans, 221.5 total. Toronto is favored by 2.5. As far as the Toronto side, Precious and Otto Porter are out. So the main guys are back for them. As far as the Pelicans, not so much there. Ingram, CJ McCollum still out. Najee Marshall also out. Larry Nance is probable. I mean, man, we just jammed in all these Pelicans a couple nights ago when CJ and Ingram were out. Now they're both out as well. And I see Zion very low owned is what I'm seeing. There's Alvarado, Trey Jones, Herbert Jones. It's definitely the Pelican side I'm interested in. As far as the Toronto, Van Vliet or bust probably, but I still doubt I get to him on a slate like this. AP, break down this one and mainly the Pelican side. I'm interested to see what you got to say.
Yeah, I mean, in this spot last time I got on Joval, so did everyone else. He was like 55% owned. So it was just a really weird situation. The initial projections I was looking at showed much lower ownership. And
it was because of Nance.
Yeah, once Nance got ruled out,
that was the thing.
Yeah, needed to rerun those numbers as our guy Big T always says. But No, I mean, gosh, like again, like Zion, they're out. So I love that they're at home. 8,600, very, very fair price tag for Zion. And this spot should dominate a lot of the usage. I got to go back and look at that rotation because it looked like the Pelicans wanted to play a lot of dudes, even with their key guys out. So again, there are some rotation concerns that I have. I think Trey Murphy is a solid play. I think Herb Jones is a solid value to consider. And I think Jose Alvarado is someone that you keep right there. Like we do have a lot of good guard value plays on the slate, but Jose is a guy I'm definitely going to have in my player pool. Zion, I have tagged as a really strong tournament play. He just falls in that range where he's going to go overlooked on the slate. Maybe a tougher matchup here against Toronto. Good defensive team, a lot of length, a lot of size. Can get to the perimeter very fast to get their hands up. But Zion, he does his work in the paint. Very, very, very efficient scorer. And, that's maybe the one area where he could expose the Raptors a little bit. So it's going to come down to him being aggressive and getting to the bucket. If he does that, he could put up a big number here. So it's Zion for me. I do think this is a spot where you could look at Trey Murphy. You could look at Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado as well. And then on the other side, we need I was loving Siakam. I know Locks was loving Siakam earlier in the year too. We need those minutes to get back up there, I think, to be able to pay that full price tag of 9,600. And with the Raptors getting healthy, and a lot of these price tags are still elevated, like OG, he is up there still, Scotty Barnes, etc. It takes me off of those. It makes a very easy decision to move off of them. I do think the one guy on that side that you could make a case to play is probably Fred VanVleet. $7,500 price tag if he gets a full allotment of minutes. We know when he's cooking, he likes to chuck, and that's when he puts up his big numbers. So he would be the one guy that I would be fine playing on the Raptors side.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're priced so Siakam, you're playing him at 8.9K, and they were already dealing with Scotty injuries and stuff. Now he's 9.6 coming back. They're priced up like they're missing people, and they are. And so I think that's one of the easier fades. As far as this Pelican side, though, man, Lock. So someone in chat asked about Dyson Daniels. I mean, he played 27 minutes last game. Trey Murphy, I think he's a good basketball player at the end of the day. He can shoot from the outside. He's long. Alvarado starts at point guard 4'9". Herb Jones gets all the minutes. Man, I don't think this is a spot you just jam in the Pelicans on a 13-game slate, but they're still thin, and I don't think ownership's going to be as high as people think. So break down this Pelican side for me and any Raptors that you like.
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of in lockstep with AP on Toronto there. All the elevated price tags, they haven't changed them since those guys came back. 7.7, 7.6, just too much for me with Barnes and Anunoby at those prices. And then Siakam, I've loved Siakam all year. I did before he got hurt there. And I think that price tag's too high, especially we've been talking tonight at centers. We just want to pay down a little bit. There's other better spots for a little bit cheaper or better spots up above them. So I'm not going to have much on this side. Literally the only guy probably even in my pool is going to be VanVleet. The other guys, I'll sprinkle in Siakam. That's probably it. I'll probably take Anunoby, Barnes, and Trent out of it. I don't have any interest in the bench guys over there anymore. And then the Pelicans, a lot of value here. I played Dyson Daniels his last time out, so at 3,800 with McCollum and Ingram out. I definitely don't mind him at $3,800. I don't know if you need that on this slate. There's just going to be too many spots elsewhere. On a small slate, I was fine playing Dyson Daniels, but I don't think I'll get to him tonight. So really the only other guys I see here are the top four guys. I'm not playing Jovel at 6,400. I'll play Alvarado, Jones, Murphy, and Williamson. My most interest, probably Trey Murphy there at 5,100, and then Alvarado. And then the tournament play is Zion, just like AP said, at $8,600. I think he comes in super low owned. And with those two guys out, they're going to need some offense and they're going to need a lot of Zion. So definitely some interest there.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you as well. I wouldn't get to Daniels on a 13-game slate. I would focus on the starters. No way I'm touching Jovel, especially with Larry Nance back. But so you like Alvarado, Herbert Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion. You play 150. I don't know if you are today. I know you're doing those 6 lineups in there. But regardless, any rules you'd make, like max 2 on a 13-game slate, max 3, anything, or just let it go?
Yeah, on a 13-game slate, I'll definitely max stuff like that. I would say max 2 of these guys, no doubt. I mean, I'm only going to have the 4 probably in my pool. Maybe Dyson Daniels, but yeah, I'm not going to play any more than 2 of these guys. I wouldn't want to have that on this many games.
Yeah, same page here. I'd max it at 2 as well. Just focus on those 4 starters. So that's Pelicans. That is the Toronto game. Toronto looks like a pretty easy cross off. Pelicans, I think there's some interesting pieces. Let's get to the next game on the slate. 8 p.m. Eastern, San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder, 229.5 total. OKC is favored by 3. On the Spurs side, Jakob Poeltl is out. Jeremy Sokan's out. Josh Richardson is out. As far as the OKC side, Shea is out. Anytime Shea is out, it's the best player on OKC. There's a ton of value on this OKC team. That's where I think a lot of people are going to go. There's Poku, there's Giddey, Dort, Trey Mann, Jalen Williams. As far as the Spurs side, AP, you're talking about Zach Collins a little bit. There's Bates Diaw, Keldon Johnson. I mean, man, 2 bad teams that don't really want to win. There's injury news on both sides of Jakob with Shea. It's a great game for DFS. This is always what we look for, AP. So break this one down.
Yeah, you got to think that Zach Collins gets a start here. 4,500, very good price tag. I mean, centers have been absolutely smashing the Thunder. I will say, like, he's not like a lock value. Like I wouldn't put him into all my lineups because we've seen Pop do crazy things with this rotation. Charles Bassey, who they've kind of like, phased out of the rotation. Surprise, he could come back tonight. Like, we wouldn't be surprised at all. They have Dang too. They got Roby, who they like to like. Pop likes to play Roby and stuff. So there's still a lot of uncertainty with what the rotation could look like outside of Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, and Trey Jones. So I feel very confident in Zach Collins. I'm probably going to be overweight on him, depending on where ownership lands, because I think he's actually having a pretty good year. Hitting a lot of shots and just doing his thing, traditionally playing off the bench, but he's been playing pretty well, and the matchup is a good one. This is the game I want a lot of exposure to. We've seen some of these Spurs games, Thunder's game, just, man, they've absolutely erupted, especially in these spots where multiple pieces are sitting out. So with Poeltl out, man, we got to like pieces on the Spurs side. Trey Jones, Vassell, Keldon Johnson to lead the way. And then with Shea out, Shea has been a usage monster. The offense has been running completely through him. So Trey Mann, phenomenal plays, 3.3K. Josh Giddey, phenomenal play. He's 6.7K. He should help to facilitate the offense far more tonight. Then you have Lou Dort, 5.4K, another phenomenal play. Poku, we've seen put up monster numbers on the season too, which is crazy. I always look at him and laugh because this guy looks so unathletic, but man, he put up 47 against Boston, 43 against Milwaukee, 38 against the Mavs. So he has shown upside relative to his price tag. So I think he's someone that we have to consider on this slate. Jalen Williams, another dude, 4.2K. We don't have the starting lineup yet. We've seen the Thunder do weird things. Like, we could definitely see like Kyron Williams start randomly. I wouldn't play him just because they have so many guys that they could rotate in, but it would be Jalen Williams is the guy that I would have interest in. So I'm gonna have a lot of exposure to this game. I love both sides. Trey Mann, Giddey, Lou Dort are the three pieces on the OKC side that I like, and then it's Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Zach Collins, who I like on the Spurs side.
Do you see yourself making any rules in this one?
No, I mean, no, I don't. No, I mean, some of the rules sometimes, like, I don't see it in this spot. Like, a rule I had in place before was Josh Giddey or Shea, and Giddey's been really frustrating. With Trey Mann at 3-3, you could see both of these guys crush. I wouldn't be surprised if you had flames by both by the end of the night. I wouldn't be surprised. So here's what I'm looking at. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if like Lou Dort, Giddey, Mann, and then one other piece. I don't know which one. Maybe it's Poku. All have the flames by them. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like Zach Collins plus maybe Trey Jones and then Vassell or Keldon Johnson have flames by them too. So interesting game to stack up. It's one I'm going to be pretty overweight on. Yeah,
no, it's a really good game for DFS. Going to you, Locks. Anytime Shea's out, you got to talk about these OKC guys. Poeltl's out as well. Talk about San Antonio. And then are you going to make any rules when you're done breaking it all down? If so, touch on that.
Yeah, definitely interest here. Probably my favorite play in this whole game. My favorite two plays are Giddey and Collins. So definitely love those guys. I'm sure everybody's going to love them. So I'm going to have to find ways to get different elsewhere, right? If I like those two guys, that's going to be my thing. I mean, Jones, Vassell, Johnson. Yeah, I love those guys. Pop seems to love Bates Diop. So I kind of got a little bit of interest there with SoCam being out. So that'll be my interest on that side of the ball. I don't know. I'll be lower on Vassell and Johnson. I just think those price tags are up there. I think I can find a little bit better spend ups or spend downs at those spots. So not as high on those guys. I'd say on that side of the ball, probably Collins and then Trey Jones for me. And on the other side, I like Jalen Williams more than Lou Dort. 5,400 for Lou Dort. I've seen him bust too many times. Yeah, we can see him go off for his 43 fantasy point games, but those are far and few between from what I've seen. So I'd rather spend down another $1,200 and get Jalen Williams at that price. So that's my lean on that side. And then Poku, I always like Poku because we see he can kind of do it all if he gets the minutes. The tough part with OKC is, and the Spurs really, is the rotations. I mean, this whole game, the rotations could just screw you completely up. So it's kind of hit and miss for me. I would probably max 3 per team on this one. I don't think I would want to go more than that on a 13 gamer. And then on the OKC side, my favorite play is Trey Mann, Giddey, Poku, I would say, and then Jalen Williams.
Yeah, I like it. You cannot ignore this. Definitely the OKC side will be more popular. Zach Collins on the Spurs side. But if you go Keldon, anyone outside of Zach Collins on the Spurs, don't think you see too much ownership there. So that's OKC. That's San Antonio. Definitely a great game to target for DFS. The best of the night, in my opinion. Next game on the slate, though. First, 700 watching, 275 likes, 75 more. 350 is what we need for the plays of the day. Should easily be able to get 400 plus on this one. Takes 2 seconds out of your day. Thumbs up, big red subscribe button. We're all happy. We always appreciate it. On this channel, almost every single day, bringing you winners for all sports. So all we ask from you, like and subscribe. We do appreciate it. So thank you very much in advance. Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves, 231 total. Memphis is favored by 2.5. Going to the injury report for Memphis. Desmond Bane is still out. Dylan Brooks is questionable in this one. Going to the other side of Minnesota, Towns is going to be out for a little while. Jordan McLaughlin's out. Jaden McDaniels is questionable. I mean, man, first of all, I'll start on the Memphis side because I think Minnesota is a lot more interesting. Ja at 10-9, though, I think is a very interesting contrarian play on this slate. Has all the upside in the world. The usage is all there. I think he is great, and I'm not seeing too much ownership. So big interest in Ja for me. That's probably it on the Memphis side. Maybe a Steven Adams you guys could talk me into. As far as Minnesota, though, without Towns, McLaughlin, I mean, they got Jaden McDaniels who's questionable. Man, like Edwards, we saw Noel have a good game. Slow-mo, Kyle Anderson, D'Angelo Russell, 6'4", Gobert, 6'8". I think there's some interesting pieces on Minnesota. I'm going to start with you, Locks. Talk about the Minnesota side first, how you'd rank them, rules you'd set, and then talk about Memphis, especially Ja.
Yeah, this game is one that I'm going to have a lot of exposure to. I just love this game. I think there's so many points out there on this game. I'll start on the Timberwolves side. My favorite play is easily Anthony Edwards. His usage goes through the roof without Towns. I think he's just going to chuck. We see him too. I mean, I don't see this game being a blowout, but even when there's blowouts and stuff, he's the guy on the floor for some reason. So I love him at the 8K price tag. The other guy that I'm high on is Rudy Gobert at 6,800. I think he smashes tonight against Steven Adams. He's going to see probably 30, 35 minutes, I think. So I'd say Edwards and Gobert are my favorite. AP, the GOAT call with Noel last time out. I was on that. So I'll have him in my pool for sure. I like Noel at 3,900. I think he crushes again at that price tag. I'd say those three guys are who I'm interested in. I don't have much love for slow-mo. And then I don't know. I never play D'Angelo Russell. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the guy. So I would say Edwards, Gobert, Noel for me. On the other side of the ball, love Ja tonight. Probably going to have him on a couple teams, at least in my main ones. So I love him. I don't care about his price tag. Honestly, he finally hit a triple double the time I didn't play him. So that's how it always works. I'll probably go right back to him. Other than that, I don't love this side of the ball other than Triple J, Jaren Jackson, at 7,100. I'll definitely have some exposure there to get off of maybe the Mobley and who was the other guy we were talking about earlier? Bobo.
Yeah, Bobo. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll probably go to a little bit of Jaren Jackson because we've seen what he can do. I mean, if he gets 30 minutes, I like him at that price tag rather than all the ownership going to Mobley and Bobo.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, touch on him first, AP, then touch on this Minnesota side. But dude has had below a 30% usage rate twice out of every single game so far this year. I'm not seeing too much ownership on DK. He's in that weird price range between the Giannis, the Jokic, and Embiid. I think he just gets forgotten a little bit. Man, touch on him and then rank these Minnesota guys and what you like in this one.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problems is Minnesota can't defend right now, and so I'm telling you, this is one of the games I want to watch. I want to see how this team looks now with Cat out, and just having a more traditional lineup. You get a little slow-mo revenge against his former team, 3,800. I'm kind of with locks though. Like I don't think he's a lock or anything like that. I'm gonna have ownership. I'm gonna give him a fair projection, and I want to see what the lineups look like. I'm with locks on Anthony Edwards. I see the usage going to him. I see more spacing for a guy like Edwards. That's what he wants. And if he gets going, if he gets hitting those threes, I see it being a battle between him and John Morant tonight, just going off. So I love like a little John Morant running back with Edwards stack, just those two pieces from this game, maybe slow-mo in there. And then the other guy, Jalen Noel, he has these stretches where when he's hitting his shots, they give him extra run, and the guy is going to chuck when he's in there. He's a usage monster off the bench. So again, with Jalen Noel, there's a lot of good value on this slate. The rotation could be a risk. So again, not another guy that you want to lock in, but he's going to be a guy I have exposure to in tournaments because he's 3,900. And if he gets 25 minutes, he can get us 30 plus. He just did it last game. And I think the pace is going to be nice here too. We know Ja likes to play fast. We know Edwards likes to play fast as well. So, and then, locks, the reason you don't like D'Angelo Russell is like last game, for example, I think he had 25, 26 fantasy points at halftime against the Wizards. What does he finish with? 31. He did nothing in the second half. This guy can absolutely go ghost mode on you in no time. So he's one of these guys you can't victory lap early, and he's going to frustrate you 98% of the time. However, 2% of the time, he does show some upside. So, again, I think with Cat, his boy out, I think Edwards is the play over a D'Lo or anyone else. So I'm with you, Locks. I like Ant in the spot, and then I like John Morant on the other side.
Absolutely love it. Lockstep there. That is the Memphis Grizzlies, the Minnesota Timberwolves. That was the last game that Locks had eight of the 13 games, 8 p.m. Eastern or before. This next game we're about to get into, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we have an hour window. Los Angeles Clippers, Utah Jazz, 222.5 total. Utah is favored by 8. On the Clippers side, Norman Powell's doubtful. Kawhi and Paul George are still out. Reggie Jackson is questionable. So a lot of news on the Clippers side. As far as Utah, Mike Conley's still out. That's about it over there. Locks, I'll go to you in this one. We just saw the Clippers play yesterday. Reggie Jackson, monster game. He's questionable. Came down hard on his back in the first half. Came back in the second half. Absolutely showed out. Now they're without Norman Powell, who went crazy in the second half. Still without PG and Kawhi. I mean, man, that's the thing. We're not sure we're going to get this Reggie news before those 8 p.m. Eastern games, but if he's in, I think he's a good play. If he's out, Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, all these guys get big bumps. Robert Covington. So touch on this Clippers side or on the Clippers side, and then Utah. They're still without Conley. That's it though. Any interest over there? Mute.
Oh, mute button rookie. Here we go. Caught it early though.
You did.
On this Clippers side is where I'll start. I mean, Reggie Jackson, I'm not chasing the ceiling game, even if he plays. It's just crazy. I mean, I never play this guy. He has these games, and we've seen it all the time. He'll go off for 53, and then the next 6 games he'll go for 25. So it is what it is. I'm going to X him out of my pool. I don't think, especially if he plays, he's going back-to-back ceiling nights. So I'm fine Xing him out. If he doesn't play, I love Terrence Mann. Absolutely love Terrence Mann. I don't mind John Wall at 5'6". I just don't know. It's so hard because they won't let him go over 23 minutes. That's where it's tough. He gets there in 23 minutes, but if he get more than that, man, I would smash the heck out of him. So it's tough. He will be in my player pool a little bit just because the off chance that he does get there for us and gets a little bit more minutes. I love him. But on this side, I mean, Zubac's probably my favorite play at $6,400 against a Utah team that centers just crush. We saw Zubac get 29 rebounds 2 games ago, 76 fantasy points. I mean, I don't know how you don't love a guy like that. He's going to smash here. So I'll definitely have high interest in Zubac. Terrence Mann's my next favorite if Jackson's out. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know where to go with this team. The injuries, like you said, that's the most important part. So, I mean, if there's some more guys out, it brings a lot more people in play, like Amir Coffey. He had 24 minutes last game, 28 minutes the game before. I think he gets over 30 if Jackson's out. So definitely some interest there at $3,900. And then Rocco, we saw him. We love the NBA chat, right? Everybody tilts when the game starts. Oh, Rocco or no cash. It's like, come on, guys. And then the guy just does the rest of the game. It's like, I think I put in the chat a million times, guys, stop tilting 2 minutes into a basketball game, please. It's like, come on, give it a chance. I love people getting excited, but on a guy like that, he's just like, who did we just talk about? D-Lo or D Russell. He's just like him. He can get hot and then just go ghost mode the rest of the game. So those guys I don't like playing just because, you get excited and then you get let down. So on that side of the ball, really, if Jackson's out, I like Zubac, Man, Coffey, and then a little bit of Wall. If Jackson's in, it takes me off of Coffey, and then I still like the other guys a little bit. On the Utah side, breaking down this side of the ball, I haven't had much interest in this team all year. I haven't been playing them. They just don't have a guy that really has that ceiling type game other than Markkanen we've seen it from. So I have a little bit of interest in Laurie, and that's pretty much it on this side of the ball. There's just too many other spots, and these other guys are too expensive.
Yeah, I'm with you on Utah. I think you could get to a Sexton, a Olynyk or something, a Markkanen on a slate this big, though, and they're pretty healthy. I doubt I get there too much. AP, if you have interest in Utah, though, talk about it, and then talk about the Reggie Jackson news because they're already shorthanded, even if he does play.
Yeah, I think it's huge. And I think Ty Lue, sharp coach. These rotations are frustrating, but I feel like when he's coaching on the floor, like last night, for example, he knew in his mind that they're on the front end of a back-to-back, and he was probably analyzing, what do I need to do to keep my guys fresh? He held Terrence Mann out of the fourth quarter. Norm Powell was balling, so he let him ball. Zubac played a ton, but didn't see the fourth quarter because the group that was in, they overcame a 20-point deficit and came back to win. So Ty Lue just let them do their thing, and at the same time allowed guys like Zubac, Terrence Mann to get some extended rest by not overextending themselves by playing in the fourth. So I actually think like this Reggie Jackson news is quite big, because if he is out, that means John Wall has to push 30 minutes. That means Terrence Mann might be playing like the whole game. Amir Coffey comes into the mix too. And then I think it's Zubac. I think the 6'4", everything's going to, flow through him, get easy buckets there in the paint. I think he's one of the best center plays potentially on the board that's going to go overlooked tonight because all the other options and everything. So for me, keep an eye on the Reggie Jackson news. If he plays, I'm not going to play him because he played like 42 minutes or something the other night. They got Wall back. If he's out, I'm going to have a ton of interest in John Wall. Terrence Mann, I like either way. And then it's Zubac there. So it's just one of the interesting spots though on this slate because they're going to be thin. You're going to get guys that crush here, but still the projections apparently aren't in love with this spot. So I think it's just like rotation, confusion, and different things. But if you get the script right, and I think we have a good idea what it's going to be, it's feed Zubac. It's going to be, they got to play Wall a lot of minutes if Reggie's out. And I think Terrence Mann has to push like 35 plus minutes. Those, and especially if like Norm Powell is out, they got to create offense somewhere. So Coffey, Mann, those are Wall, primary pieces there. And then Zubac. Marcus Morris, another good bounce back spot. Keep it all right. So if you're watching the box score, looking at that, yeah, he had a bad game. The guy started out like 0 for 8 or something last night. He couldn't hit a 3-point shot, to save his life. I think he started out like 0 for 6 in the first half. So could be a bounce back spot for him, get some shots up, get some looks. And so I'm going to keep my player pool, more of a tournament play for me though.
Yeah, I like it. This game's at 9 Eastern. Again, like I said, an hour after the other ones. I think the Reggie Jackson news is one of the bigger pieces of news on this slate because of already how thin they are. I would love Terrence Mann, Coffey, Morris, Zubac, any of those guys. Covington even gets a bump. Think you could come to the Clippers for some value, play multiple of them if Reggie Jackson is out, which I'm expecting he is. Again, questionable tag. I'm not going to build my lineups just saying he's going to be out and it'll ruin everything if he's in. But man, he took a hard fall, played over 40 minutes last game. They're already 8-point dogs. They're already without a lot of their better players. Like, really doesn't make sense why they'd run out Reggie for a full role in this one. But we'll get that news hopefully sooner rather than later. But 9 p.m. Eastern, that game is. Again, 350 I said for the plays of the day. Don't need too many more. Like button, big red subscribe button. Got over 750 watching, so should easily get you there. Like, subscribe. We appreciate it. 4 games left. Houston Rockets, Denver Nuggets, 230.5 total. Denver is favored by 11.5. Houston's healthy outside Jayshawn Tate, who is out. As far as Denver, Michael Porter Jr., Jeff Green out. Bones Highland is going to play. AP, I'll go right back to you in this one. You mentioned Jokic. How does he rank amongst the other studs on this slate? Bruce Brown, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. I definitely think the Denver side is more interesting than the Houston side.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray and Jokic cooked this team a couple days ago, and I see them doing the same tonight. So Houston can't defend guards. Perfect spot for Jamal Murray. They don't have rim protection either, so he's a guy that can get to the rim there. And then Jokic. I mean, the thing with this spot though is you need the game to stay close. And that's the big debate there. I don't know if the Rockets can keep this one close. So it's, can Jamal Murray and Jokic do enough in potential limited minutes to justify playing them? So again, like for me, it's a big slate. I'm not forcing them in or anything. I have Jamal as a very solid tournament play. Looks to be getting his game back. And then Jokic, I mean, man, another phenomenal spend. Like, he get like his floor in this matchup could be enough, to play him. So, and if it stays close, he could break the slate. So again, not a guy I'm fading, a guy I want to consider on the slate.
I like it. Or throwing it over to you, Locks. Denver side's more interesting for me. Talk about Jokic, Jamal, anything there. And then I'm fading Houston. What are you doing with them?
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting to Houston tonight. Not in a spot like this. I just think too many games, and I don't know. I don't see anybody on that side of the ball that I really am like, oh, I got to play them. I'll have them in my pool, my 150, but in my other stuff, in my 6 lineups, my main ones, I'm probably not playing anybody on that team. In my 150, just for everybody watching, the people that I would have if I'm playing this side of the ball is Şengün at 6,800. You can always have KPJ and Jalen Green, but other than that, I really have no interest at all on the Houston side. On the Denver side of the ball, yeah, Jokic is one of my favorite spend-ups of the night. I think him and Giannis are going to be probably my favorite spend-ups, to be honest. I don't think they're getting owned. They're going to be coming in super low owned. They're guys that can just absolutely break a slate. So I love him tonight. A lot of people are going to want to go to Aaron Gordon. We saw him have 2 50-point games in a row, fantasy-wise, and then just a dud at 8.75 points. So I can't get there on a volatile guy like that on a slate like this. So I'm not going to have any of him. If I had to rank my Nuggets, it's going to be Jokic, Murray, then probably Bruce Brown and Bones. Those are probably my 4 favorite plays. With Porter out, Konkar is kind of interesting at $3,100 if he gets the run, but I don't know. With these other guys healthy, I don't think I can get down that far on a slate like this. Just a guy that you can throw a dart on at 3,100 if you want to spend up a lot of other places.
Yeah, maybe more of a showdown play. I don't think you got to take that risk on this slate. But let's get to the next one. 3 games left. Again, this game's at 9 p.m. Eastern. The other 2, 10 and 10:30. Chicago Bulls, Phoenix Suns, 227.5 total. Phoenix is favored by 5.5. Phoenix is still without Chris Paul. Cam Johnson's out for a while as well. As far as Chicago, nothing changed there. Alonzo's the only one still out. D-Book is playing phenomenal basketball. He's all the way up to 10K now. Price is absolutely warranted, though. As far as the Chicago side, Vooch, Levine, DeRozan, they're all healthy. But their prices are about right. Locks, what's your thoughts in this one? Chicago, Phoenix, any interest?
Yeah, it's just a game that it's got a lot of solid plays, but a lot of them are too pricey. We're looking at this. I mean, we got DeRozan at 8.3, Levine at 7.3, Vucevic at 7.4. I just, on a smaller slate, I can get to those guys. I just don't think I can pay up for those guys with the other spots I want to go tonight. It's just, they're good plays. Don't get me wrong. Have them in your player pool. But to me personally, I'm not getting there on my main teams with those guys. The only guy I would really have interest in is for some value is $4,100 for Pat Williams. I kind of been on him all year. He continuously gets us right around 25 points. And at that price tag, might be okay with that. Again, not super high, but those are the 4 guys I have interest in on the Bulls. On the other side of the ball, Devin Booker. I mean, the guy is just an absolute stud. Chris Paul's out. He chucks. He's getting assists. He's getting boards. I mean, 69 fantasy points last time out. He had 78 like 6 games ago. So we've seen his ceiling. And if he has a ceiling game, you don't want to miss out on it. I don't care about the 10K price tag. I'm willing to pay that for a guy that can do what he can do. So him, I'd say probably Ayton, a little bit of interest, but again, the price tag's up there, and on a slate like this, I don't know if I can get up to that. So really, I think in my pool, all I'm going to have is Booker and Bridges. I think Payne's price tag's too high now. So Booker and Bridges for me. Other side of the ball, probably Pat Williams, and that's pretty much it on this one.
AP, Phoenix, Chicago, what you looking at in this one?
Yeah, we got two more games left, and K Fallick's going to be in chat, hurrying us up here soon. So I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to make this easy. If it was a smaller slate, I would play this game. But with how big this game or slate is, the Bulls, relatively healthy. I mean, Booker is chucking, so if you go there, that's fine. Outside of that, I'm off this game.
Next game on the slate. Again, 2 games left, like you said. 350 is the number for the plays of the day. Let's make a push to 400, though. Almost 800 watching. We're going to get to 350, but surprise me. Get good mojo starting. Someone from RPS is winning a milli today. Like button, subscribe button. 2 games left. Indiana Pacers, Sacramento Kings. Big boy total, 242.5. Sacramento is favored by 4.5. Trey Lyles is doubtful for Sacramento. As far as Indiana, without Duarte, he's been out for a little while. All I'm going to say is Tyrese Halliburton. It's not only a revenge game. The dude's just a complete stud. High-paced game. Fits in perfectly. Sign me up for Tyrese, of course, but even better today. I love the revenge. Love everything about him in this spot. AP, besides Tyrese, what you like in this one? Assuming you like Tyrese.
Yeah, I mean, on Monday, we talked up your boy. We talked him up big time. And what'd he do?
Put up a big boy.
Almost a 61 piece. Now he gets some revenge. I think he's going to be very motivated to go up there and do his thing in front of a Sacramento Kings crowd. So I love Halliburton tonight. One of my favorite spin-up options for sure. And then Sabonis on the other side. Bigs are just smashing this team. I mean, I think it was Zubac that put up the 30-some rebounds or whatever. I mean, what an absolute
30-something rebounds?
Or not rebound. What was it? Like 20? What, like a 40? Like he put up 80 DK points. It was an island game. Locks was talking about it.
Zubac, I don't know. I like 37.
All right, Zubac. It was 29 rebounds.
Wow, I did not know
30.
that. Island game.
It was an island game. It was an island game on like Saturday or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So sign me up for Sabonis here, Halliburton. That's how I'm stacking this game. Hashtag double revenge. That's where I'm going. Malik Monk, deep tournament play. The dude that just balls like randomly when he gets time. So I'm keeping him in my player pool, and if there's a lineup I like and he sneaks in there, I'll play him.
Yeah, and not just a revenge for Tyrese. Should have said Sabonis. I'm not going to get to him at that price tag. Who he's all around, but man, we're talking about Sabonis in a monster total with revenge, so you definitely can do worse there. Locks, breakdown, Pacers and the Kings.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and simple. Lockstep with AP here. Halliburton, Sabonis, X the rest of these guys, and move on.
All right, last game on the slate. We got Portland Trailblazers, the Los Angeles Lakers. 224.5 total. Lakers are favored by 6. As far as the Lakers side, Troy Brown is questionable. That's all I see there. As far as the Portland side, let me pull that up. I did not expect Locks to go as fast as he did. We have Josh Hart questionable. You're good. Lillard's still out. Nasir Little is out. So Josh Hart questionable. It is big news, obviously, but we're not going to get this news. Right back to you, Locks. Anything more to say about this one than the last one?
A little bit more. I mean, there is some news. I don't know. This game's so late. I don't know if I want to wait this long. I might have some pieces late in 1 or 2 of my lineups in that thing just in case. I want to get a little bit different. So on the Portland side of the ball, obviously Simons was in my core last night. Grant was in my core last night. I love those two guys. With Lillard out, all the usage just goes through those guys. They're scoring. So those are probably my two favorite plays. And actually, Justice Winslow has kind of surprised us at $4,600. I mean, he continues to get us 25, 26, 31, 31. I'm okay with that. He's getting the minutes. He's starting. So that would be the interest I have there for some value on this side. I'd say those three guys on the Portland side of the ball. On the other side of the ball, Schroeder at 4,700. He's starting. He's been getting 30 minutes. He's interesting to me. I don't know if I'll get there on a slate like this. He'll be in my pool for my 150. And then LeBron and AD. And then this injury news is just important too, because we haven't gotten full confirmation that Davis and James are playing, right?
I think
they're probable. Yeah, they're gonna play.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you really never know, but they're not on the injury report, so I'm assuming they're gonna go.
Yeah, it's another one. You can get those two guys, I think, at super low ownership tonight. But I'd rather go to the other guys around them, like a Jokic or a Embiid or somebody like that. So I probably won't get to those guys at all. Sprinkle them in my 150, but that's about it. I'd say favorites: Davis, James, Schroeder. On the other side, Simons, Grant, and Winslow.
Only AD for me on the Lakers side, but Portland, I mean, Anthony Simons, man, Goins played the day, balled out. Nurkic, Winslow, Jeremy Grant. Situation could only get better if Hart misses. He's questionable. Break down this one.
Yeah, I mean, Simons, absolute stud. He put up like 37 points last night, like real points. He put up 38 in the Garden a couple games ago before that. Kid's a stud. He's a baller. He's going to play a ton of minutes. The Blazers keep losing these close games. And, the team is better than what their record shows. They need Dame back, obviously. But, no, I think there's some plays here. Grant, Winslow, Simons, for me, that's where I'm at. And then, honestly, I was on Anthony Davis on Monday. I just thought that the price tag was still fair tournament play, keep in mind. But the offense, he's just crushing right now. He's playing so good. It's like the Anthony Davis of old. So, and then LeBron just struggled with the shot. I think both of those guys could crush. It seems like they're finally phasing Russ out. They don't need him in there. Bring him off the bench. Let him run the second unit. But it's all about LeBron. It's all about AD here. I think AD makes for a good tournament play. I think LeBron James makes for a good tournament play. So there's all the value in the world on the slate to make it work. But I do have them tagged as core play considerations, and that's Simons and Winslow on the slate.
I like it. I agree. That is all 13 games. Man, it's a massive slate. As usual, Wednesdays are. So we appreciate you hanging out with us. It's a lot of stuff every single game, breaking down every team. Still waiting on a lot of news. We'll be in the Discord as always. News hits. We break it down. Core plays, all the changes go in yellow. Cash chart gets updated, all of that. You do need to be a member, though. And it's a great day. As always, they are. But the premium show, the Up to Lock show, injury news hits. Nobody does it better than JSU, Big T, and the guys. They'll be on today breaking down this slate. So you have to be a member. Head over to Run Peer Sports. Check it out. Make sure you get in the Discord if you do. Like button 363. That is enough for 350. 800 watching though. Let's make a push to 400 by the time we get out of here. We would appreciate it for sure. But you guys got it done. Head into the plays of the day. Got to start with myself first with the SO play of the day. You guys can probably guess it. My boy Tyrese Halliburton. Get the revenge narrative. Milwaukee kid. I mean, it's just a great spot. Biggest total on the slate at 242.5. Someone in chat was asking for who's getting 60 today. Butthole Jenkins asked, yeah, we getting 60 from Tyrese today. Maybe a little triple-double action as well. So that is the SO play of the day, late night hammer there. Goldilocks play of the day. What you got for us?
Tossing and turning between a couple guys. I feel like I'm going to take AP's guy, so I almost want to let AP go first.
I think I took AP's guy.
No, yeah, go ahead, Locks. You're good. I don't think you're taking my guy. My guy's risky, really risky.
All right. I think my play of the day today is going to be at 8K Ant-Man Anthony Edwards. I think he crushes today with Towns out. Usage is going to be there. I like him to have a solid ass day. So I'd say my Goldilocks play of the day, Anthony Edwards.
I like it. AP. Gentlemen's call of the day. Who do you got?
Mine is a bet on just, with Reggie Jackson playing 42 minutes or whatever it was last night, had the fall. And then he showed up questionable today. Maybe there's a chance he doesn't play. In that scenario, they got to push Wall finally. And if they do, the main ball handler out there, I would think he would crush. So I'm going to say John Wall, but it's dependent on a few things. And a lot of that has to do waiting for the news. So I think no matter what, we get him low owned unless that news hits early. I don't think it's going to today. So it's a risky play, but I'm going John Wall.
It's risky, all right. AP and whoever else is watching this show might be the only ones on him, but that's absolutely what we love. John Wall, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, the 3 plays of the day. Monster 13 game slate. Head over to the live show chat. They'll be bringing you up to lock, picking winners, breaking down all the injury news. Head over Run Pure Sports, get in the Discord, hit that like button, hit that big red subscribe button on the way out. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow for NFL. Only one NBA game tomorrow, though. So NBA picks back up on Friday. Have a great night, everybody. For AP, Locks, Simon Behind the Sticks, I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.